we do it.
Yeah, we do whiz when we want. It's not compulsory. Good morning. It's a Saturday morning and I woke up late because I slept late because I was trying to catch up with my sleep from the very busy week. So I slept around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., woke up around 11 p.m., then kept awake until like 5 a.m. It was crazy. So it's like 11:30 right now. So that's when my day is starting. Let's see how this weekend goes. Now, a thesis defense is where you present your research before a panel of professors. It's where you present your findings and methodology, which is your study design, which is critical in research. It's pretty intense because the fate of your masters, like whether you pass or fail, is entirely dependent on how you do here, regardless of how well you did on your coursework. So here we were attending the thesis defense of our seniors, which we were encouraged to do by our professors to get an idea of the kinds of questions the professors ask, just to get an idea of what goes on in a thesis defense, to better prepare us for our time. Oh, I really like this little machine thingy. It's so fascinating to me. It's one of the things that really blew me away when I arrived in China. I was like, under this little car driving by itself, what is it? And I remember I posted on Facebook one time. I was like, hey guys, I'm seeing this thing, I'm even scared of it. Like, and then somebody was like, hey, Wemme, be careful. It might just grab you fast and take you away. Because I was like, hey, oh gosh, it was so fun. So I'm now back at the house, or rather my room. It's so weird, I never really know what to call it. So this is how we hang our clothes. This is another very fascinating thing for me in China. So forget about clothes lines, right? Clothing lines. This is how we do it. We be like, yeah. I think because there's not much space. It's mostly apartments here in China, so the only way to hang your clothes is to do it on your balcony like this with a hanger. Okay, yeah, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. A culture difference for sure. So I'm back from the defense thing, so I'm gonna eat now. So hungry. And on the menu is a Liberian dish, a delicacy I call it, because it's so nice. I really enjoy it. And you know, in West Africa, when they talk about spicy food, pepper, they call it pepe. So this food is full of pepe. You understand? If you get it. Like if you don't get it, forget about it. Okay, I didn't say that right, but yeah, if you don't get it, forget about it. You need to visit West Africa, or you need to have a friend from West Africa to be able to have this delicacy. It's so nice. These fish in there. They call them greens. Then they call them crawfish, which I call prawns. I've never enjoyed prawns like I have in this dish. Okay, and my Liberian girl always cooks this, and she calls me to come and eat. Hey, she's taking care of me, like, yo. And they have it with rice. I mean, rice is a big deal in Liberia. Rice, they say if you haven't eaten rice, you haven't eaten. So it's the same with Botswana. They say if you haven't eaten meat, you have not eaten. Okay, so I guess rice and meat, same thing. WhatsApp group for the different groups of people. So yeah, I enjoy myself. Learning about cultures in different countries, it's such a treat. These are the puzzles I got earlier. This is an insect repellent. In China, you need it. You need it. Okay. This is a dress. I don't like the color, so we're returning that. These are for keeps. I've been wanting black sneakers, so this is decent enough. These now are very, very nice. I really like the look. However, I felt like they don't really fit. Okay, now these ones are not too bad, but it's not what I wanted. In the picture, they look gray. I wanted gray. So I'm returning these as well. Now back to my favorite. So remember what I said about them not fitting? I want you to hear something. Listen. You get the picture. You can literally hear me walk past you. So I was like, you know what? I really like these shoes and I'm gonna make it work. So what I'll do is to tie the laces really tight and just make it work. Kind of like a relationship that you know is not supposed to be, but you just try to make it work. Right, so now I was ready for some schoolwork. It was pretty late, like really late, like in the AMs, because I had to attend an emergency talk with someone, and so it kind of threw me off my schedule. But I didn't want to sleep without doing some schoolwork, because otherwise I would really be thrown off. I needed to get some work done for that day. So I just started on my research that I was working on. It's a literature review for one of the courses that I'm doing, and so I was working on that. It's actually a 3,000 word, I would call it essay if we were, in primary school, but I guess now they call it literature reviews. Yeah, it's a master's thing. I'm learning, So 3,000 words, guys. Like that's insane. That's crazy. That's like 13 pages of writing. They want to kill us. But we won't die. It's part of the process. I've come to learn that, masters is really all about reading papers, reviewing them. That's really the gist of doing a master's program. And I think it's just there to fine-tune your research skills and help you to also critique papers, not just to read research and just accept what is written, but critique it. Like, look at the methodology. How did they actually design this research? And was it, like, with given the findings, is it something that you can trust? Looking at the study design, it's something that before doing masters I never really thought about. Like, I just thought anything that I read I can believe because it's research in quotes, but now I know better, and I'm happy to be in this space. Truly, it's an honor and a privilege. When I have time on a Sunday morning, I like to make porridge. Typically, I like porridge made of sorghum, but because here in China there's no sorghum, I use maize instead. So this is what it is. I prefer to mix the maize powder in water before adding to the boiling water in the pot, because if I don't do that, it's easier for it to form lumps. and you don't, there's nothing worse than eating porridge with lumps, okay? And then manyan ha gona le hetho, ha gona mahetho mo China, so we just use forks. We improvise. Hey, when you go to countries and you travel and you go up and about, you improvise, because some things that are there and so readily available in your country will not be there in the countries that you visit. Okay, it's thicker than it should be, but oxalayo, it's porridge. We'll make it lighter using milk, but I prefer yogurt or margarine. Normally I jaka margarine, mayonnaise. Hey, but I'm trying to be healthier, so hey. So I'm eating and then getting ready to meet the others. We're going to church. So normally we get a ride together. It's just not, it's not giving. One thing I appreciate about this church is that after every sermon, there are some discussion questions that we are supposed to break into groups and discuss on, and it's usually very insightful and gets you to reflect and really and commit, because usually there's a call to action. Church is out now, and normally we go to young adults meeting. Young adults is the equivalent of youth in many African churches. But before the meeting, we have some fun with our ladies, my dear friends. Some are, actually these are my seniors. Some are, I have a Botswana mate there, Nigeria, Liberia. Hey! And then South Africa, a whole vibe. This girl, I love her so much.
We do it when we want. It's not compulsory. Yes. Yes. It's not a must. Yes. You're annoying. So we're now done with church and it's time to go home, back to school. I'm gonna get some lunch and rest and then do some schoolwork for sure. Get ready for the week. And 2020, but it was nice, I love it. Hey, we are back and I got bread and the cafeteria is pretty much closed. It's 1500 hours and by now there's no food whatsoever. So I'm hungry and I'll just have to wait until maybe like 5:30 or 5, yeah, for some food. So in the meantime, I'll drink water.
You're thinking proposal.
Yeah.
So please come and let us help us about this assignment things for 1 hour or 30 minutes. Help us. 30 minutes or 1 hour? 30 minutes or 1 hour? For a meeting, yeah. Yes, in my room, we are waiting you. Okay, yes! We have got an answer, yes! What it is related to accessibility and utilization, what is related to your topic? She's asking like this.
Hey guys, I just thought to end this video now as opposed to earlier on, just to end it well at the very end of the day. So basically, after I got home from church, I indeed slept. I drank water and slept, and then when I woke up after like a 3-hour nap or something, I got up and ordered some dumplings, had them during my group meeting. So my group meeting started around like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I think at 8 p.m. Finished like 12. Hey, because the work was a lot. We had so much to do. So now the time is like 1:30 a.m. This is my life. So it's actually better. The other days, this past week, I was sleeping at 3, 4, even almost 5 a.m. But having a class at 8 a.m. So it was crazy. It was crazy. But I'm hoping that this week it will be better. But yeah, overall the weekend was good and restful. I think I rested physically. I had a nice time at church. However, I feel like while I rested physically, my mental, like I'm not rested mentally. I didn't feel rested mentally. I'm a bit anxious, a bit on edge, because we're rounding up the semester, and at this time, our thesis work has to be at the right stage, because when we go home for a vacation, we're supposed to go and do our data collection. So basically your proposal, like kind of like a mini proposal, should be in place. You should be sure of your topic. You should be sure of your methodology. Like methodology is like the major thing about research. You should be sure of that, and you should be sure of your, basically your study design, how your sample size, how you're gonna collect data. Are you gonna use primary data or secondary data? Your questionnaires, are they validated? Like, are they ready to be used and sent out to the people? How are you going to analyze your data? What's your sample size, and how are you actually going to recruit people to take part in your study? Reality, like real things. And I guess that's what masters is about, like really mastering research, mastering your topic, or mastering your field or something like that. Hey, and attending the defense yesterday was a bit rattling, because the questions that were asked by the we call them laushis, the professors, who were the panelists. Hey, it was all about methodology, and some of the errors that were picked up by them. You're like, hey, but how is this thesis reaching the stage without these errors haven't been noticed before? Like, what happened? Was it like a supervisor student kind of what you call this? I know so many people who complain about how supervisors can take long to respond to them, and the relationship is really difficult. And I guess, a lot of the time that is the cry that I hear often amongst master students. So just like hearing all of those comments, and it wasn't easy to watch. You're watching your seniors defending their proposals, their thesis, like this is the final thing, and hearing all the comments, you're like, oh my gosh, does it mean he's not gonna make it? Or does it mean does it mean he has failed? Does it mean he goes through, even like he'll just have to fix those minor issues? Or and this is this a minor issue? Is this a major issue? Hey, it was rattling, like ooh. So one major takeaway from that was, like, supervisors, like if you don't have a really good relationship with your supervisor,
find another supervisor that you like, not even find another professor who maybe is in a related field, who maybe is willing to help, you know. And also another very important thing that I realize is to share your work with your classmates, those you can trust with your work, you know, just to give you constructive advice, you know. Gotta just have like a peer review kind of situation, you know. Share what you know, let them share what they know, you know. Yeah. So that's that. So I'm logging off, signing out. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.